Hey everyone, Muckluck Douglas Bartholomew Reginald Esquire IV here, and this is an update to the Icy-Hot Quickdraw build guide. If you haven't seen that guide already, I recommend watching it first, and I will have a link for it in the description. Now, since that guide came out, there was a patch that had some changes that impacted this build. As you can see here in Figure 1-1, Ranger received many adjustments. They also did some things to other classes and deleted some PvP amulets, but that's not important. What is important is that Greatsword received many nerfs, raising the cooldown of the 2, 3, 4, and 5 skills, and reducing the strength of the buff your pet gets from Maul by half. Additionally, the Tiger and Rock Gazelle got some minor adjustments. Now, what does this mean for us? The Greatsword was primarily used in the Icy-Hot build because of the block and to a lesser extent the swoop. It is the only block in the game for Ranger, and the swoop gives us a travel/escape option. It didn't do a lot of damage because we were using a condition build. Since the nerf to the counterattack cooldown, even when I quick draw counterattack and then use the kick, I have to wait 6 seconds or so before I can use it again. Essentially, there's no more 8 seconds of block/evading while 3 people are swinging at you. So I decided to dabble in other options. That said, a viable alternative to Greatsword is now Sword and Dagger. Sword 2 gives us a similar mobility option to Greatsword 3, and the evades on Sword 2, 3, and Dagger 4 give us similar survival to Greatsword 4. Now, there are pros and cons to both weapon decisions. Greatsword pros: swoop is longer range than Sword 2, block prevents you from everything coming at you for 3 seconds unless it is an unblockable attack. Cons: you do nearly no damage from the Greatsword itself while holding it with this build. Sword and Dagger. Pros: Sword 2 range isn't quite as far as swoop, but it has a much shorter cooldown and can be used much more often. Unblockables don't matter if you're evading, and you do respectable poison damage while fighting in this mode to your enemy. Cons: higher skill ceiling. Having 3 shorter evades is trickier to use than 1 Omega block. You probably won't be standing on a point lasting for 8 seconds while 3 people shoot at you anymore, but you will be even stronger in 1v1s in most cases. If you choose to try Sword and Dagger, swap out the two-handed training trait for natural healing or wilting strike, since two-handed training is useless without the Greatsword. Wilting strike really shines with pets that have shorter cooldowns on the F2s, such as the Tiger or a Hawk. I also changed my sigils from Escape and Energy to Escape and Venom for the Greatsword to Sword Dagger weapon set, to boost the poison damage of Swords 2 and Dagger 4. In practice, it is very similar to Greatsword. When you swap to the Sword Dagger, you have 2 major quick draw choices. Quick draw the 2 to escape and use it again a few moments later, or quick draw the 4 to do big poison to one nearby target and evade all attacks for a moment. If I quick draw 4, I usually do 4, 2, 2, 5, 4. And that 5 can be anywhere between the 2 4s, honestly. If you're still fighting, you can then 3, 2, 2 again. 3 resets the cooldown of 2 if it hits. By this time, I can weapon swap back and quick draw Winter's Bite or Bonfire depending on the situation. Finally, let's talk pets. I still think the Jacaranda is perfect for its role. It does bad damage on moving targets, but unmatched damage against immobilized, downed, or clustered targets. But the smoke scale can be replaced by another pet that is decent at hitting people on the move. You could use a bird. At the time of this recording, birds are a bit overtuned, and the ArenaNet developer confirmed this, so a nerf wouldn't surprise me in the future. A cat pet. Even with the small nerf, the Tiger is still quite good. Or you can keep using that smoke scale. Reminder, Sword 2 through a smoke scale cloud is a stealth combo, or through your healing spring for a healing combo. Dagger 5 is a projectile and can trigger a blinding combo through a smoke cloud or a regeneration combo through the spring. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from this build, and I'm really glad so many people are having fun with it. One person even told me it got them to Platinum 2, which is where I peaked, so I feel like he's going to have one of those Vader moments. At first I was but an apprentice, but now I am the master. These are a few clips of times where the transition to Sword and Dagger worked in my favor. And that's about it for the changes I've made since the Icy-Hot guide was released. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like for the YouTube algorithm, comment if you have any questions for me or additional input, and subscribe if you would like to see more content. A special thank you to my newest Patreon supporters who help make this possible. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment for me below the video, mail me in-game at muckluck.9082, or ask me live any evening on Twitch after 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Click the follow button there to be notified when I go live. That's it for today. Happy burning.